In the kingdom of modern hip-hop, few crowns have been heavier than the one worn by Jeffrey Williams. To the world, he was Young Thug, the innovator, the enigma, the king of slime. He was an artist who bent the rules of fashion, music, and masculinity, building an empire called Young Slime Life on two pillars: groundbreaking creativity and an unbreakable street code. At the heart of that code was a single sacred commandment: thou shalt not snitch. Thug wasn't just a follower of this rule, he was its most vocal high priest. His music was a sermon. His interviews were doctrine. He preached loyalty above all, positioning himself as the unflinching general of a new Atlanta dynasty. But what happens when the preacher is accused of heresy? What happens when the enforcer of the code is the first one to break it? This is the story of how Young Thug, in a desperate attempt to protect his throne, lit a match that would not only burn his enemies, but engulf his own kingdom in flames. This is the story of his self-immolation, and how his crusade against one rat turned Atlanta into Ratlanta. Content warning. This video discusses sensitive topics, including criminal allegations and violence. All information presented is for journalistic and analytical purposes, based on publicly available court documents, news reports, and interviews. All clips are used under the doctrine of fair use. Chapter 1. A Kingdom Built on Loyalty. To understand the fall, you must first understand the empire. Young Slime Life, or YSL, was more than a record label. It was presented as a brotherhood, a family forged in the Cleveland Avenue neighborhood of Atlanta. At its head was Thug, a charismatic and fatherly figure who took artists like Gunna under his wing. Thug's relationship with Gunna was particularly symbolic. He didn't just sign him, he molded him. He poured his resources, his time, and his cosign into making Gunna a star. In Thug's own words, it was a bond deeper than business.
Brotherhood, I honor that. I love you, bro.
So you still love him?
Bro, I poured so much into this. I can't even hate him, bro. In jail, I thought I hated him when he took the pleas when they did that. I thought I hated these. My girl made me realize, like, but you don't hate him. You just mad at him. You don't hate him, bro. But I don't wish no ill will on him. No ill feelings at all.
Stop the man having though. That hit the way, bro.
Because I was just angry. But it seemed like nobody understanding why I'm angry. Bro, all the I did for this, like, what are you talking about, bro?
That central moral, the bedrock of their entire public image, was absolute loyalty. In the high-stakes world of street-affiliated rap, being labeled a snitch is a death sentence for a career. It is the ultimate betrayal. And for years, Young Thug was the one who decided who was guilty of that crime. Chapter 2. The Walls Close In. On May 9th, 2022, the kingdom was besieged. A sweeping 56-count RICO indictment came down from Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis, naming 28 members of YSL. The prosecution's narrative was simple and devastating. YSL was not a record label. It was a violent criminal street gang responsible for murder, armed robbery, and terrorizing Atlanta.
If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
Suddenly, the Brotherhood was facing life in prison. The abstract codes of the street were about to be tested by the concrete reality of the legal system, and the first crack in the foundation came from Thug's most prized protege. In December 2022, Gunna took an Alford plea. While maintaining his personal innocence, he legally acknowledged that prosecutors had enough evidence to convict him. As part of the deal, he was forced to affirm a series of statements in court, including the 3 words that would ignite a firestorm.
Say after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly.
For Young Thug, watching from his jail cell, this was the ultimate act of treason. He believed Gunna had buckled, had betrayed the family to save himself. From that moment on, a calculated war was declared, not against the prosecutors, but against his own brother. Leaked jail calls would later reveal the chilling reality of Thug's mindset. While awaiting his own trial, he was orchestrating a smear campaign, weaponizing his influence to sabotage Gunna's career and brand him a rat for doing the very thing that Thug and his own brother would eventually do themselves.
Yo.
Bruh.
Yo.
What's going on? You good?
Yeah, what's going on?
Man, chilling. Where you at? You in the town?
Nah, I'm on the west.
Man, bruh, I'm trying to drop an album the same day Gunna drop, bruh. You need to, y'all sent you a song, put a verse on it.
Thug pressured the biggest names in Atlanta, Lil Baby, 21 Savage, and Future, to ostracize Gunna. He was drawing a line in the sand. You were either with the King of Slime or you were with the rat. The stage was set for a public execution of Gunna's character, with Young Thug positioning himself as the righteous, martyred king. But he had forgotten about a skeleton in his own closet, a 2-hour conversation that would make his crusade against Gunna look like the height of hypocrisy. Chapter 3. The Bombshell in the Interrogation Room. Years before the YSL RICO, back in 2015, the biggest beef in rap was between Lil Wayne and his father figure, Birdman. Young Thug, Birdman's new protege, had inserted himself into the feud, escalating tensions to a dangerous level. The conflict culminated in April 2015 when Lil Wayne's tour bus was shot up on a highway outside Atlanta. The prime suspect was a man named Jimmy Winfrey, better known as Pee Wee Roscoe, an associate of Young Thug.
New developments this noon in the shooting of a rapper Lil Wayne's tour bus. This morning, the accused triggerman went before a judge, and Channel 2's Audrey Washington was there. Audrey, Jimmy Winfrey was hoping to be allowed out of jail this noon.
Linda, court just wrapped up a little over 60 minutes ago. Despite some moving and emotional testimony by the defendant's sister, the judge was not swayed and denied bond.
A few months later, Thug was arrested on an unrelated charge, but the investigators didn't want to talk about that. They sat him down in an interrogation room, and what followed was not the defiant silence of a street king, but a shockingly cooperative 2-hour interview.
About Miranda rights or anything like that? You don't have to talk to us type deal. You can't talk to us. It's totally up to you. But we would like to talk to you just so you can help sort some stuff out.
First right is that you have the right to remain silent.
Lives in ATL.
Okay? You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything against you.
No, I feel it. I feel it.
Talk and whatever we need to talk about. But she know I talk to you about it. But I don't.
You don't have to sign that. You don't, okay. You don't. But do you
Do
you understand that though?
Yeah.
Okay.
For 2 hours, while eating a bologna sandwich provided by the police, Thug gave them a masterclass on the inner workings of the Cash Money conflict. He broke down lyrics, explained business disputes, and painted a picture for them that was incredibly helpful to their investigation. But then, he crossed a line that by his own code is unforgivable. He implicated Pee Wee Roscoe.
He paying for it. If he didn't do it, he's going to be home.
Yeah.
But just knowing Roscoe, man, that man, scrub. That fool. I'm like, you shot at somebody, bro. But I don't know, because every day, bro, ball. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Block. I don't want to, block out y'all case by saying Roscoe didn't do that. I don't.
He didn't just call Roscoe a criminal. He told investigators that Roscoe and Lil Wayne were close, and even suggested Roscoe used to supply Wayne with drugs, directly connecting both men to illegal activity.
I said them was damn near more brothers than Bird and Wayne.
Oh, Roscoe and Lil Wayne were more than...
Used to bring Wayne his drugs. Trust them. I don't know what the fuck happened with them.
The interview ended with the investigators praising him and him giving them his personal phone number, making them one final, damning promise.
You did.
Whatever.
You were wonderful today.
Listen,
Yes, sir.
promises. Make promises. Just we'll keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever think you want to know anything, tell me. I'm telling you anything. What I'm tell the world.
But eventually, the world would find out. And when this audio leaked in 2024, it served as the ultimate receipt. The king who had spent 2 years crucifying Gunna for saying yes ma'am had, years earlier, sat with detectives like an open book, offering up information on his own associate. The hypocrisy was breathtaking. Chapter 4, The Damage Control Tour.
Rollo, you never made a mistake. You never made a mistake in the interrogation room, bro.
Made a mistake.
So my was a mistake the whole time. That was a big mistake.
So sit down and mistake is fine.
The term Ratlanta went viral. Figures like UFN Lucci and Gucci Man, who served hard time without cooperating, were held up as examples of true loyalty, while Thug was branded a hypocrite. The narrative he had so carefully crafted against Gunna was now collapsing on top of him.
That's what you're supposed to do. When you go in the interrogation room, that's what you do. He told you, man, we sell the Wayne Carter weed. What the is wrong with you? You feel what I'm saying? No, a statement is this right here. Lineup selective. That's him. He did that. He did what a taxpaying citizen do. A real street. Kept it solid. Kept it overly real. You feel what I'm saying? Really tried to pull me out there.
The damage control was chaotic and ineffective. Pee Wee Roscoe, the very man Thug spoke on, came to his defense, arguing that a verbal conversation with police somehow doesn't count as snitching, a distinction no one in the streets was buying.